everyone, it's the Semi here, and today we're going to look at the practical application of the build in terms of damage. We're going to look at the Dagon passive first, so we're looking at it as the single target stage. So as you can see, the projectile is visible. There's one projectile every time you use Piercing Strike while the buff from Whirling Shield's active. It doesn't do huge amounts of damage, but it is something, and you get about 100 heavy attack chance from the activation of the skill as well. So for 1v1s, Dagon is not that good, but it does have some impact. Dagon shines in the context of 1v2 or more targets. So as you can see, we're testing it here against 2 targets. You can see the skill itself without any self buffs. It does eliminate 2 of these targets easy. And now we're going in and we're going to have a look at a full rotation involving all our SNS buffs against these mobs in the Temple of Truth. And basically we're only using, to showcase the damage, we're only using the SNS part of the build. We're not using any of the curses on purpose. There's a few curses from auto attacks, but that's it. So as you can see, we're applying the buff to SNS damage from skill number 3, then we're applying collision, the damage buff from collision, which is skill number 5, and skill under R, which is Shield Rush. And we're also getting damage from another buff from using Whirling Shield. We're getting that damage and the heavy attack chance. So as you can see, we can melt an entire group of mobs just using that, because when we use counter barrier and the mobs hit us, they reset the cooldown of Piercing Strike, and we can spam it, and then of course once we have the Dagon buff on, it just shoots projectiles all over the place from the Dagon passive. The Piercing Strike does shoot these projectiles, so you can easily clear mobs just with SNS. And also to highlight that, you know, I don't have my Tevent wand yet, and I don't have any upgraded heroic, and I'm only wearing T2. I'm wearing 2 heroics only. One is not upgraded, the other one's plus 11, my weapon. So this build is still being developed in practice. I don't have all the items, but even with mostly tier 2 items, you can see how it does what it's supposed to do. It does damage. And now we're testing the capabilities of the full rotation, including the wand skills. So when you use the wand skills and you curse explode, the damage is a bit higher. The rotation is supposed to work like this. You're supposed to use all the buffs you have for SNS. So on skill number 3, skill number 5, on an R, and Whirling Shield, and then you're supposed to use the wand skills to curse explode and spam Piercing Strike. And of course you're supposed to keep counter barrier up almost indefinitely. And there's one reason to be flexible with this though, because sometimes you want to have Whirling Shield give you 1000 heavy attack chance just before you curse explode, so you can have more chances of getting this curse into a heavy attack. And also you want to, at the same time, you want to have your main skills, curses and defensive skills and stuff, on cooldown before you use the collision skills, because morale boost is going to reduce the cooldown of your important skills. So you need to use them before you go ahead and collide with stuff. So now we're looking at the shield survival technique. That's a very good skill to survive damage, but it doesn't do much damage on its own. And this is why Chaotic Shield from Wand, it has some capabilities that can improve your damage. Because if you read the tooltip, it spreads your hand of Touch of Despair to all targets within 3 meters, and also reduces the cooldown of your curses by 3 seconds on block of a fury attack, something like that. So you can see this in practice. You can see how we're gathering a whole group here. We got the skill equipped, and just look at the cooldown of skill number 4, which is the Corrupted Magic Circle. So it is the cooldown of this skill is reduced by collisions, and it's reduced by a successful block with Q. Of course, the Hand of Despair is applied to all Touch of Despair is applied to all targets as well, so your curse explosions can be huge. And the other thing is that, yeah, once you apply skill number 4, it puts the curse on all targets, and it remains in the zone that applies the curse remains for 5 seconds. So you can curse explode this immediately, and the zone still being active for 4 seconds after, it reapplies the curse again. So you get 2 uses of your curse per rotation. That is the idea here. Every time you use the curse, it's basically one time it's exploded doing full damage, and the other time it's going to tick its damage slowly. But yeah, it's two uses per rotation. So now I'm showing you what I wear. I wear mostly T2, you can see it. And I have this wand, Codex of Deep Secrets. It's fine for now, because it's the second best wand possibly after Tevent. And I'm working on getting my Tevent done. I'm going to show you the difference later. I'm now looking at the actual masteries. So see Curse Explosion, explodes everything including poison. And we have this Corrupted Magic Circle. Additional damage mode is optional, but this Rotten Marsh is what you're going to use if you have Tevent. And additional damage is good because if you have the cooldown low enough, you spam this a lot. And this is mandatory because it increases the damage of your Curse Explosion by having more stacks of Hand of Despair, Touch of Despair. So then, yeah, Curse Explosion does more damage the longer your curse duration is, and the more curses you got on the target. Then you got Touch of Despair, which is all of these curses noted have been increased to have 100% extra damage against mobs since the 1st of October. That's great, including the Tevent curse. And yeah, you can have 3 stacks of this, increases your basic attack damage, and you can trait it to apply to 2 other targets to have 3 more seconds as a duration, increasing its damage, and to apply 2 stacks every time you use it with a chance. So like 50% chance to apply 2 stacks. So these are very interesting skills. Of course, you got the Q here as well, which all skill cooldowns curses are decreased by 3 seconds, and spreads the curse around you within 3 meters. And now we're looking at the passives that can help your curse damage. So this one increases duration and chance to land the curse, directly increasing your damage. This gives you damage on any type, let's say it gives you healing on any type of damage you do. Saint's Oath increases your damage over time, and skill damage. And Full of Corruption, it does increase your max damage, or if you have the mastery, it increases your wand damage overall. So then you have these 3 nodes that increase your curse damage each. So I recommend getting all 3. And of course you have Abyssal Burst, which as long as you have a curse up, you're going to have a small chance of exploding this curse, causing damage to the target, and that will trigger Spectrum of Agony, and it's very good. So then we have the spec that allows Full of Corruption to be enhancing wand damage overall, and instead of just max damage, because max damage is only useful if you're critting. And this is Saint's Oath, when you change it, gives you a skill damage boost, very valuable, and a damage over time boost around 15%, very good. The Spectral Defense is useful because it allows enchanting time to help you pass through mobs. And of course, Corrupting Hit is very useful, especially for solo target, because it allows you to apply Decaying Touch and Time for Punishment to monsters. It's for PVE. And then Eye of Emptiness and Eye of Devotion, those directly buff your Devotion and Emptiness skill by 20%, active at all times. So it's mandatory, there's no reason not to take those 2. So that's basically an overview of the important masteries for Wand. And now we're going to do a practical test with the target dummies. What the idea here is to show you the application of curses on auto attack, and of course curse explosion. So you see we exploded the curse, and it's been reapplied immediately to the targets again. So we're going to do this one more time, so pay attention. You can see the Dagon shield fly down, the curse is being applied on auto attack to the target. So yeah, we dropped Dagon and we exploded, and the curse has been applied straight away, again, for significant damage. We have the Dagon shield flying around, and we have the various buffs we get. Okay, so now we're going to look at the overall masteries. The first one is the one that reduces your survival skills cooldown by 3 seconds on kill. It's very good if you're low level. It works on counter barrier, placed barrier, heal. And then overcome crisis. When you're dropping under 50% health, lots of attack speed and cooldown speed helps you survive. And also we have Deadly Viper, which allows you to have poison, which you can curse explode, and you can reapply again every time. This one adds a few points. And Indomitable Stance is comparable to Windy Veil. It gives you about 10k shield each. So Windy Veil I think is better because you choose when to activate it by using a mobility skill like Strategic Rush. So I would choose Windy Veil, but it requires higher level. Because we have a max perception on our build, 99. So then Survival Enhancement is a very good skill which increases your buff duration by 25%. We already have about 115 in the build, so we're going to reach 140, almost the cap. And then we have this one that offers you crowd control resistance when you're crowd controlled, so it's very useful. And then Overcoming Pain is also very useful because our build lacks a bit of crit, so we can get that crit and heavy attack chance with this, especially for PVE. Not so much for PvP, because if enemy has endurance it's going to be useless. But yeah, those are the main options for overall masteries. There's a few others, but those are the ones I focus on. And of course, all the overall masteries are affected by buff duration, so the effects you're seeing, you have to factor in the 150% buff duration. Alright, when it comes to Guardians, we have Lady Camarchia as the option, but we only have like 9k mana on this build, so you're not going to get a big shield from her, so she's not the best one. Gloomy Jester gives you CC resist and chance. Then we have Vampire Slayer, which may be the best one, 400 resists, and damage per tick, which activates Spectrum of Agony, and some heal from that. And then we have the other option, which is the new one, that allows you to get 25% of your health as a temporary bonus, but we don't have that much health, so it's not the best for us either. So now we're looking at the stats. So we have about 80% healing. This is my tier 2 build. I haven't transferred everything to tier 3 yet. I'm working on it. So the attack, as you can see, the heavy attack evasion is not maxed out yet. Endurance is not maxed out yet. The damage reduction, critical damage resistance is there. The buff duration is there. Buff duration is there. You can see the items I wear for this practical test. It's basically, it does really well, even though we're not yet where we need to be. Alright, so now we're going to look at the potential options for the build. We have several wands we can choose from. First one, Lucian's Code. I would say it's mainly for PvP because the target needs to be healing itself for it to do damage. And so you need high weaken chance for this. We don't have that in the build, and yeah, I would not use it unless you're doing PvP. For PvE it's useless, and the duration is a bit low, cooldown's a bit high. Then you have Codex of Deep Secrets, which is very good for a T2 wand, and it increases your Nightmare Explosion by 25% and saves you 7 spec points. And then we have the best one, which is Tevent's Grasp, but it's a bit more expensive. Grasp of Cremation. It gives you this curse that has 100% damage in PvE. This is extra 100% damage, and of course it reduces the enemy's defense by 10% in terms of melee and magic defense, and this is what we care for because we do melee and magic damage, so we're using these wands to improve our Dagon damage, which is excellent. Can't ask for more than that from a wand, and it's going to be the best wand while T3 lasts. And now I'm going to show you how far I am along the path of upgrading this wand myself. And that is, I have the basics. I bought it for like 5k, something like that, and I have about 67 shards of the 90 that are required, so we're nearly there. Just need to trade it after that and ready. Alright, thank you for watching. Stay around for more videos and have a good day.